guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video, I know I'm doing the movie review early. I actually have two movies I need to review for you. I just watched both of them, and I'm going to review the first one, the first one in this review, but the reason I'm doing it early is because I'm going to be busy tomorrow, so I probably won't be able to get these up for you. I'll probably only be able to review Sam and Cat for you, and I probably won't be able to do that till Sunday. Well, let's just get to this. I was actually going to watch this movie with my parents because they were watching another movie. I watched this, and I think my parents would probably like this movie, so we're probably going to watch this again with my parents. But the movie I'm going to review for you is The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. So with this movie, I was expecting it to be pretty funny. I mean, it definitely looked like it was going to be really good, and one of the things I love is that it was going to be a really good return for Jim Carrey, because if you don't know me, you know that I really love Jim Carrey. He's one of my favorite actors of all time, and I just absolutely love Jim Carrey. At first, I thought that Steve Carell was this guy, and Jim Carrey was Steve Carell's character. It's the other way around. I didn't realize that Jim Carrey wasn't the star of this. I thought Burt Wonderstone was Jim Carrey. Turns out, though, that that's not the case. But it does turn out that The Incredible Burt Wonderstone is a lot of fun. It's not, like, hysterically funny like 21 and Over was. 21 and Over wasn't hysterically funny either because it had some dramatic scenes, and this did too, but it is still a very fun movie, and it is one that I'd recommend to you. It's nothing amazing, but I definitely would recommend it to you, and I definitely would recommend you watch it. So, basically, the basic premise of this is that Steve Carell and Steve Buscemi were two, they meet up in, I think it was elementary school, and they basically talk about how much they love magic. And Burt Wonderstone is Steve Carell's character, and Anton Marvelton is Steve Buscemi's character, and they basically come up with this act for, and they become insanely popular. But then there's this rival magician played by Jim Carrey, who kind of, Steve Gray, who's definitely like a Chris Angel mind freak type of magician, and everyone starts to like him a lot, and he starts to get just as popular as they are, so they try to make their magic act much more like his, but it ends up going totally wrong. They end up falling apart and eventually splitting up. So the movie is pretty much Steve Carell trying to meet up with Steve Buscemi and trying to get his magic act back together so he can be just as popular as Jim Carrey's, without being like Jim Carrey's. And that's pretty much the plot of the movie. There are some subplots that I will get to, but so yeah, that's the basic plot of the movie. And now let's get to the performances. The one problem that a lot of people have with it is that every character in this is a douchebag. And yeah, in the beginning of the movie, kind of, but there are quite a few movies I've seen where it's like that. It's not like that in every single movie. There are quite a few characters in this that, I mean, they're douchebags, but they definitely do have a heart, as we see. Especially Steve Carell's character, Burt Wonderstone. He is definitely a douchebag, and definitely, he doesn't feel like he's really he's a good magician, but he doesn't really feel like he's the best. He feels very self-centered. He treats himself like he's the best magician in the world, and he's very, feminist, like he doesn't like women. Olivia Wilde's character wants to be a magician, and he kind of says, oh, that's never going to happen if you're a girl. And that's pretty much, he's very old-fashioned when it comes to that, and that's pretty much what it's like for him. So that's pretty much what it's like for Steve Carell's character. And I thought he was still really good, though. He was a really good magician, and I really liked his character. I thought he was pretty good in this. I really did like him. So yeah, Steve Carell, I thought he was great in this. And then there's Steve Buscemi, his partner, who I didn't think was as good. Honestly, I think Steve Buscemi was actually the weakest link in here. Not that he was bad, but he just wasn't as good as Steve Carell was. I thought Steve Carell was really good in this. I mean, it definitely was a different type of role for Steve Carell. Steve Buscemi, though, whenever he and Steve Carell were working together, they were really good. I just realized Steve and Steve. I just realized that. One person I was really surprised with is Olivia Wilde. I thought she was really good. I told you what her storyline is already, but she was really good. The best two in here, though, are Alan Arkin and Jim Carrey. Alan Arkin is sort of Steve Carell's childhood magician that he watched on TV that kind of inspired him, and he goes over, and Alan Arkin kind of tries to help him and show him that he's kind of a douchebag and try to get him to be a better person and a better magician, things like that. And I really enjoyed that storyline. And then Jim Carrey really steals the show in this because everything Jim Carrey does in this movie is absolutely hilarious. And as I say, he's definitely like Chris Angel Mind Freak. And there's a part where Steve Carell's like, this isn't even real magic because all Jim Carrey's doing is like dangerous stunts. Like, there's one where he tries to not go to the bathroom for a while, or there's one where he tries to set himself on fire. There are just some really funny ones. There are just some crazy ones that he does, and everything he does in the movie is really great. He's the best part in the movie. Every time he's on, you just love his character, and definitely this was a great return for Jim Carrey. He really shined in this movie. He was really, really good, and I thought he was just the star of this movie. He was fantastic, and it's great what happens to his character, which I'll talk about that in the spoilers because it's so funny. And so now I'm going to get into some of the spoilers. First thing I want to talk about, of course, is the magic. The magic in this is fantastic. There's some really cool magic in this. First thing I want to talk about, though, is what happened to Steve Gray, which is hilarious. Steve Gray is Jim Carrey's character. So I love the scene where he tried to drill a hole through his head. That was absolutely hilarious. I thought that was just really, really funny because obviously we knew it wasn't going to work out for him. He's the villain, so obviously it wasn't going to work out for him. But it was great when he was just like, there's a drill stuck in my head. Can somebody get this drill out of my head? And then he's talking like that for like the rest of the movie. That was really funny. And I think the best part of the movie, in my opinion, was the disappearing audience at the end. That was the funniest part of the movie. Don't get me wrong, there are quite a few funny parts in this movie. Like the part with the magic competition between Steve Carell and Jim Carrey. I thought that scene was quite funny. But the one scene that I really loved was that scene because it was so funny. Basically, Steve Buscemi and Steve Carell's big trick at the end is disappearing audience, and they show you how they do it. It was absolutely hilarious with the gas masks and everything. That was hilarious. I thought that was really, really great. So that was definitely the best part of the movie, in my opinion. I thought that was really funny. And overall, I really enjoyed The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. Again, it's nothing huge, it's nothing amazing, but it definitely is very funny. I definitely would recommend it. It's just a fun movie you can watch. You'll have a great time watching it. And I really had a great time watching it too, so I really enjoyed it. Alright, that's it for my review of The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. My next video will be my review of The Call, so stay tuned for that. Bye!